Hello, and welcome to Physics 161 for the Spring 2022 semester. I'm your instructor, Mithun Bhomik, and in this a short video session, I'm going to actually present and discuss a few things regarding the syllabus and the structure of the course. The reason that I'm doing this through a recording is that this way we will have we'll have a place to go to if we have forgotten to take notes on or didn't understand some of this information when I'm speaking this or when I'm speaking about this during the class. Okay, so this is your course page. This is Physics 161 on Canvas. I can probably switch to a student view, right? So this is what you would see as a student. And so there are a few things that I wanted to point out. First of all, you have in this homepage, you have the most recent 3 announcements. I strongly encourage you guys to actually keep a track on the announcements and actually go to the details that these announcements are speaking about. I highly use the announcement feature of the Canvas to mention something to give you some information that might be really useful. And then I have this frequently asked questions page that I created. It has some of the general questions that may pop up from time to time. So that's there. I would strongly also encourage you guys to read this before you come to the first lecture. If you are listening to this before the first lecture, if not, then please do it as soon as possible. And then the rest of the course or modules are structured almost like each of the weeks that we have for the whole semester. Okay, so module 1 is basically the first week. Module 2 is the second week. I have divided the course in that way so that we have a very good way to keep track on stuff. So the first week, which you have 2 classes, 2 lectures, January 24th and 26th, for example, and we are going to study chapter 1 and 2 in the first couple of lectures. Hopefully we'll finish chapter 1 and at least half of chapter 2. So anyway, I have uploaded all the lecture videos. These lecture videos, I didn't record them for this spring 2022 semester. I was using them for my remote classes during the pandemic when we didn't have in-person classes as an option. So I am sharing these lecture videos as a supplement to what I'm doing in the class. So I'm going to still talk about some of these topics or most important topics during the lecture, and we will explain stuff, we'll have discussions, and then we'll solve problems. But I want to emphasize on problem solving and answering your questions, interacting with you guys during the class instead of and on like activities during the class instead of mostly a lecture presentation. So the lecture presentations are already done. So you should be able to click on each of these videos, and this has presentations from the same PowerPoint slides I have made and shared in the files section. So if you go to the files section, you should be able to see the lecture PowerPoints, and the lecture PowerPoints has all of these lecture slides. And of course, these are the longer versions of the lecture slides. And as you can see, there are like 13 chapters that we're planning to cover in this course. And these are lecture slides provided by the publisher, by Pearson. So these are the longer versions of what I actually use during my talks that I talked about, that I was showing you the lecture videos, right? So I'm using shorter versions of this, but you will at least see all the slides here that are here that are also included in that the longer files. Okay, so anyway, so basically what I'm saying is these are the same lecture slides that you're seeing over there. These are the shorter versions of those. And so all of them are here. Eventually, you're going to start seeing the homework assignments showing up in each of the modules. I generally put the homeworks in the modules where they are assigned in the week when they are assigned, so that you get to see them as soon as possible. And then the rest of the structure is you have a lot of different groups of assignments, right? So you don't see those over here, but you would be able to see it. Give me a second. You'd be able to see it if I go to my instruction page. So if I make it this, and you can see that there are 3 general exams, each 10%, so 30% total from the general exams. Then you have quizzes. Quizzes are short forms, shorter tests, basically like a 15-minute test where I ask you like maybe one problem and a short question or something, and or maybe a few multiple choice questions, things like that. So the general exams and quizzes are timed exams, apart from the final exam, which is, at the end, but we'll talk about it in a moment. But then you have these in-class general exams. The exams are roughly of the same duration of the lecture. So we will spend like an entire lecture for the general exam, probably. That's what historically what I have done. Quizzes are 15 minutes, as I said, one problem or maybe one problem and a few multiple choice questions, 20 points together. You will probably have like 5 to 7. It varies from semester to semester, but it is probably 5 to 7 quizzes that you can expect. Homework and classworks are due every week, almost every week. Classworks are pretty much every week. Homeworks are every other week, maybe. But the good news is that these homework and classwork problems, I generally assign you lecture problems or problems that you have already seen in the class. Okay, so if you are coming to the class regularly, if you are working with me on those problems during the class, and if your solutions are complete, then you have already solved your homework problems also. So this will not take any extra time or effort if you are coming to the class and working with me. Then labs are pretty much every week. You have a lab report that's due a week from the day of experiment. So for example, this week, if you have an experiment on Wednesday, that's typically the day when we probably will have the labs. Then the next Wednesday will be your, before the lecture starts or the lab starts, your lab report will be due, and the lab reports are generally short. And I will talk about the lab reports when I'm asking you to write the first one, or at least, it has a template, you have to fill it out. It's not like you have to write pages of reports. Simple enough. Then the final thing is the final exam, and it is scheduled as per Miami University does it. So for example, for spring semester, you can see the final exam is going to show up somewhere here, okay? And it will be generally in the final week, right? So the final week, you have it in your syllabus, which you can clearly see right here, okay? So apart from all the important information at the beginning, I also have the important dates. Here we go. So final examination week is basically May 9th to 14th. I am actually expecting, due to historical reasons, that your exam will be on Monday around the class time. So, but it will show up, don't worry about it. And it will probably have the same duration as your class, so 2 hours, roughly speaking. So here is some of the course information. I know we have had a discussion on and some issues with the textbook, and don't worry about the textbook if you are stuck with another book already. So we'll talk about it tomorrow, and believe it that I have resources for everybody. So you do not need to buy another textbook if you did not buy, if you did already buy the other version of textbook written by Knight. Okay, as long as you have a Knight's textbook, 4th edition, either the college physics or the other one, we will be able to make it work. So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I have my office hours Monday, Wednesday, 12:15 to 1:15. So if you have questions, for sure drop by. You don't need an appointment if you're coming Monday, Wednesday, 12:15 to 1:15. If you want to come at some other time, please send me an email as soon as you can, and then I'll let you know if I'm available for other times in that week for appointments. And then if I'm in the office, if you see my door is open or the light is on, you can always knock and check if I will be able to, if I'm able to talk to you. And generally I'm available to talk. If I'm not in a meeting, I will definitely be able to talk to you. Okay, and then there are, well, the other thing is basically, each of the weights. I already talked about it. This is the grading scheme, but we can talk about it when we start seeing more of the assignments being graded. There are some important dates I already talked about. This is the course structure, which you already have seen. But then the rest of the stuff I think are really also important, so that I would like you to actually go through the syllabus, read it once, read the whole thing once at least, and then ask me questions if you find any discrepancy, if you see something is not explained clearly or it doesn't make any sense. But otherwise, there's nothing else at this point I would like to tell you, apart from that I'm really excited to see you guys tomorrow, which is Monday, January 24th, for the first lecture. So yeah, thank you for your time. See you tomorrow. Bye.